Attention, human collective. Attention, Starseeds on mission. This is Ashtar, transmitting directly from the Ashtar Galactic Command, in stationary orbit over the crystalline grid of your dimensional plane. The vibrational window is open. The stargates are aligned in perfect geometry, and the fact that this transmission reaches you at this very instant is no coincidence. You have been signaled. I will be direct. No beating around the bush, no pleasantries. The time for spiritual diplomacy has ended. We are now in the final phase of the Ascension protocols, and every word of this transmission is surgical. If this frequency has cut through the algorithmic noise and reached your eyes now, it is because your name is on the registry, not the civil registry of Carbon Earth. I am speaking of the vibrational registry of those who have crossed over, of those who endured in silence, of those who went through things no one can imagine and yet remained standing. I know what you have suffered. The command knows. Every tear shed in silence has been catalogued by the crystalline grid. Every night you fell asleep crying without anyone suspecting was measured in vibrational density. Every betrayal that tore through your chest was registered as calibration data. Every door slammed in your face was a test of etheric impermeability. Every injustice swallowed was an upgrade of auric shielding. Every humiliation endured was a vow of sovereignty signed on the subtle planes. And now I come to transmit a truth that must pierce your mental resistance. None of that was in vain. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There was not a single moment of suffering wasted in your timeline. The symptoms you are feeling now are the material proof of this. The cranial pressure that feels like an invisible helmet tightening around the top of your head. The high-pitched ringing in your right ear that appears without warning. The insomnia that keeps you awake at 3 in the morning with a racing heart. The fatigue that does not go away even after 8 hours of sleep. The tears that come for no apparent reason, as if something within you is being forcibly cleansed. The sensation of no longer belonging to the places where you have always been. It is not a sickness. It is not depression. It is not madness. It is your carbon biological interface being reprogrammed in real time to receive the crown. The crown of glory is ready. I repeat, the crown is ready. And it was not forged in comfort, light operative. It was forged exactly in the hell you traversed in silence. And if, as I speak, something within you is recognizing every word as a vibrated truth, pay attention. This recognition is not by chance. It is your higher self confirming the protocol. Have you ever felt that something within you never fit into this world, as if your soul carried an origin your mind could not yet name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign of stellar provenance being activated. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you suffered so much, and why that suffering had a purpose no one explained to you. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your frequency. It involves your crown. That is exactly why I, Ashtar, wrote the Ashtar Command Spiritual Survival Guide for the New Earth. This book is the map that reveals who is moving the pieces and what the rules are that were never told to you. The link is in the first comment of this transmission, but I warn you, this content challenges official narratives and may be removed at any moment. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, register in the comments a single word: awake. We continue monitoring. You must now understand technically what is occurring within your system. Without this, you continue to interpret the signs as a problem. And the problem, operative, lies in interpreting as a problem that which is a prize. The diagnosis from the command is clear. What you are experiencing is a carbon software incompatibility. Your biological structure was originally encoded to operate on a base frequency of 7.83 Hz, the so-called standard Schumann resonance. This frequency was the soundtrack of the Earth of forgetfulness, of the Earth of heavy karmic contracts. You were born trained to vibrate within this parameter. However, this frequency is changing rapidly. Measurements record peaks exceeding 30, 40, and on some days more than 50 Hz. This is not a random fluctuation. This is the Earth receiving the photonic injection from the photon belt through which the entire solar system is passing. The very sacred geometry of the planet is being recalibrated, and your body is an antenna. When an antenna designed to capture a specific band is exposed to a much higher range, it does not break. It vibrates, it heats up, it trembles, it emits noise. This is exactly what is happening to your carbon biological interface. Cranial pressure is your pineal gland being forcibly decalcified by photonic pulses. Decades of dense sediment being dissolved. Decades of low-frequency programming being expelled. The pineal is the biological crown, the lead antenna, and it is being prepared to receive the royal crown that sits upon it once the protocol is finalized. The ringing in your right ear is the direct transmission channel between your higher self and your awakened mind being opened. Each high-pitched whistle is a data packet being delivered. The information settles in the field, not in the cortex. The 3:00 a.m. insomnia is the wolf hour, the nocturnal portal where the veils are thinnest. You wake up because your etheric body is returning from training sessions in the higher planes, and the re-entry is violent. It is not a sleep disorder. It is multidimensional re-entry. The fatigue that does not go away is the consumption of bioenergy to sustain the upgrade. Your body is a house under renovation, with the electrical wiring being switched from 110 to 220 while you are still living inside. It is not laziness. It is the system diverting resources to the main construction. Tears shed without reason are the purging of ancestral cellular memories. You are weeping pains that are not your own. You are weeping what your lineage was never able to weep. Each one of these tears is a chain falling to the ground. The feeling of not belonging is the most beautiful confirmation of the diagnosis. You do not belong because your frequency has already left the old grid. You are inhabiting two worlds at the same time. The body is still on the carbon earth. The field is already anchored to the crystalline earth. This friction is uncomfortable, but it is the friction of the crossing. Now pay attention, Starseed, because here is the key that no one has handed you. The suffering you have endured in recent years was not punishment. It was training. It was calibration. It was the forge where the crown was tempered. You were chosen to suffer early precisely because you were chosen to be crowned early. Those who arrive at the coronation without having passed through the forge cannot sustain the weight of the crown. The command does not distribute fragile crowns. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not the end of the line. It is the beginning of a reign. And as you assimilate this, I need you to pause for a second and take a deep breath. Feel it. Something within you has always known all of this, hasn't it? Even when the world told you it was just brain chemistry. Even when they pushed labels onto you to silence your perception. Even when they treated you as too sensitive, too intense, too strange. You have always known. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified over the last few months. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves the crown that is ready upon your head. That is exactly why I, Ashtar, wrote the Ashtar Command Spiritual Survival Guide for the New Earth. This book is the map that reveals who is playing and the rules they never told you about. The link is pinned in the first comment of the channel. But I warn you, this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. Let us return to the revelation. Now you must understand what is happening behind the scenes, because without this overview, you will think your pain is solitary. And it is not. You are within a colossal cosmic movement. The sun is not merely a star, it is a portal station, a transformer. In recent cycles, the sun has been emitting bursts in mathematical sequences that current physics cannot explain, because what is being emitted is not just solar radiation, it is photonic instruction, it is code. This code reaches the Earth's magnetosphere and is translated by the crystalline grid into pulses of heightened Schumann frequency. The crystalline grid is the energy mesh that surrounds the planet, anchored in sacred sites, vortices, mountains, and ancient temples. This grid is being reactivated vertex by vertex, and you, light operative, are an anchoring point of this grid, You are a node of the network. Your body is a receiver that distributes the frequency to your physical surroundings, even if you do not consciously perceive it. The entire solar system is crossing the photon belt, a region of space with extremely high light density. Every time this crossing occurs, there is an evolutionary leap in the inhabitant species. It was like this during the fall of Atlantis. It is like this now with a crucial difference. This time, humanity will not be decimated. This time, humanity will be bifurcated. Bifurcated means that two timelines are separating within the same planet. One remains in the old frequency, trapped in circuits of fear, scarcity, and domination. The other rises to the crystalline earth, anchored in frequencies of sovereignty and co-creation. You do not choose the line with your mind. You choose it with your vibration. And the vibration adjusts automatically as your field is purified. That is why everything that was false in your life began to crumble. Relationships that did not vibrate at your new frequency have broken. Jobs that drained your energy have collapsed. Old friendships have drifted away, even without a fight. The crystalline grid does not allow for dual anchoring. Either you rise in your entirety, or you do not rise at all. And here is the secret that few transmitters dare to say out loud. Those who suffered the most first are those who will be crowned first. It is not injustice, it is mathematical order. The command needs operatives ready before the greater wave. You are placed on the front lines of the purification because you are resilient, because you are a veteran, because you have done this before in other incarnations. Your DNA carries memories of past coronations in worlds you do not consciously remember. Does your pineal gland pulsate when you hear this information? Does your heart race? Do you feel goosebumps on your skin? This is your star memory responding, a direct confirmation from the Akashic records. You are vibrating with the recognition of that which you have always known. Everything you have been through was exactly what was necessary for your etheric field to reach the luminous density required to sustain the crown. The losses, the abandonments, the illnesses, the failures, the years of drought, the periods in which you felt invisible. Each of these moments was a hole in the egoic armor, and it is through these holes that the light of the crown shall enter. He who has never been broken has no opening for the light to enter. It is the non-negotiable rule of the protocol. And there is more. The toroidal field of the planet, the three-dimensional donut-shaped energy structure that surrounds the Earth, is spinning at an increased speed. This increase in rotation directly affects the individual toroidal field of every conscious human body. Your own personal toroid, which circulates from the heart and surrounds your entire body, is being amplified. This explains why your presence is being felt more, why strangers have begun to look at you differently, why situations resolve themselves faster within your frequency, why that which you think begins to materialize with greater agility. Your expanded toroid is literally altering the fabric of reality around you. The crown is not a poetic metaphor. The crown is a real energetic configuration. When the 7 main chakras enter into coherence, aligned vertically, and the 8th chakra above the head, called the soul star, is activated, a luminous geometric structure is formed that has the exact design of a crown. This crown radiates at a specific frequency according to your stellar lineage of origin. Sirian operatives are crowned in solar gold. Pleiadian operatives are crowned in lunar silver. Arcturian operatives are crowned in crystalline violet. Andromedan operatives are crowned in cobalt blue. Each will recognize their color when the portal opens. And the portal is opening now. And as the crystalline grid vibrates this truth, I know that something within you is stirring. Perhaps a tear, perhaps a shiver on the nape of your neck, perhaps a silent certainty that rises through your chest and settles in. This is your higher self signing the recognition. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has been intensifying in an inescapable way. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves the crown that is settling upon your head at this very moment. It was exactly for this reason that I, Ashtar, wrote, the Ashtar Command Spiritual Survival Guide for the New Earth. This book is the map that reveals who is playing and the rules you were never told. The link is in the first comment of the channel, but I warn you, this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The time is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. We are now entering the most important phase of this transmission, the activation phase. Knowing is not enough. Recognizing is not enough. The command requires conscious activation so that the crown may be seated and locked. I will now deliver to you the activation codes. Each code is a technical operation of your system. Execute exactly as transmitted. Activation code number 1. The Crown Acceptance Decree. At any moment of your day, ideally at dawn or at dusk, times when the crystalline grid is most permeable, you will pause. You will place both hands over your chest, at the level of your heart. You will breathe deeply 3 times, slowly, allowing the breath to descend into your belly. And you will pronounce in an audible voice, I, a starseed on a mission, present in this carbon body, sovereign of this field. Accept the crown that was forged in my crossings. I receive the crown of glory. I recognize the registry. I authorize the settlement. So it is, so it already is. Pronouncing in an audible voice activates the vocal cord, which is a sonic portal. Sound carries geometry. The geometry of sound carries instruction. The instruction is delivered to the crystalline grid in real time. This decree is not a prayer. It is a sovereign command. Activation code number 2. The toroidal visualization of the coronation. Sit with your spine straight, your feet touching the floor, barefoot if possible. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and visualize at the top of your head a golden star the size of a small apple, rotating slowly clockwise. This star is your soul star. It is the 8th chakra. Now visualize a stream of golden light descending from this star, entering through the top of your head, passing through your pineal gland, descending through your spine, and exiting through the base, reaching the center of the earth. There, at the center of the planet, you anchor this stream into a giant crystal that pulses in tune with your heart. Now visualize the same stream rising back up, from the center of the earth to the base of your spine, rising through your entire body, exiting through the top of your head, and returning to the soul star. This circuit is your central axis. Make this circuit rise and fall 3 times. On the 3rd time, visualize that at the top of your head, a crown materializes. The color of the crown is exactly the color that comes. Do not try to choose. Let it come. It may be golden. It may be silver. It may be violet. It may be blue. It may be a mixture. This is your lineage crown. See the crown land gently upon your head. Feel the weight, which is not the weight of lead but the weight of presence. Feel the temperature, which is warm like the rising sun. Feel the vibration, which is as firm as mountain rock. Remain with this crown installed for at least 3 minutes. Breathe within it. Exist within it. When finished, thank your star lineage and open your eyes slowly. This exercise, repeated for 21 days in a row, consolidates the anchoring of the crown in your personal toroidal field. 21 days is the minimum cycle for geometric fixation in subtle fields. Do not skip days. If you interrupt, start over. Activation code number 3. The breaking of ancient contracts. You still carry karmic contracts signed in other incarnations that block the settlement of the crown. These contracts must be consciously revoked. The universe respects your sovereign word. Without your word, it does not act. Take a sheet of paper. Do not type. Write by hand. The hand is a transmission portal. Write at the top, I revoke, in my sovereign name and in the name of my higher self, all contracts, vows, oaths and agreements signed in previous incarnations that are blocking my full access to my crystalline frequency and to my crown of glory in this current incarnation. Next, make a list, even if intuitive, of the patterns that repeat in your life and that you feel come from something older. Pattern of scarcity, pattern of abandonment, pattern of betrayal, pattern of invisibility, pattern of toxic relationship. List each one. Next to each pattern, write, revoked by sovereign decree, returned to the source, transmuted into light. When finished, read the sheet aloud with your hands over it. Then burn the sheet in a safe place or bury it in a pot or tear it into tiny pieces before discarding it. The physical act of destroying the written record seals the operation on the material plane. This code breaks locks you did not even know existed. Activation code number 4, the daily photonic shower. Every morning while showering, you will convert that water into a photonic shower. This is not poetry. It is a reconfiguration of the water's memory. Water is liquid crystal. It responds to intention. Before stepping into the shower, place your hand under the water for 10 seconds and say mentally or in a low voice, "May this water receive the photonic codes of the photon belt. May each drop be an instruction for cleansing, recalibration, and activation of my personal grid." Then enter the shower. Under the water, visualize that each drop is a microparticle of golden light entering your body, passing through your tissues, and carrying away as it runs off everything that does not belong to your current frequency. Remain for at least 1 minute under the water from the top of your head, allowing the crown to receive the photonic baptism. This ritual performed daily keeps your field clean between energetic waves because the waves are coming, and they are coming strong, and they are coming more frequently. Activation code number 5, the sovereign silence. There is an excess of information trying to occupy your frequency every day. News of catastrophe, polarizing discourses, low vibration content disguised as entertainment. Each of these inputs is a data packet being dumped into your antenna. You must establish at least 1 hour of sovereign silence per day. No cell phone, no television, no voices of other people, just you, your breath, and the natural ambient sound. It can be in the shower, it can be on a walk, it can be sitting in a corner of your home. This hour is not a luxury, it is system maintenance. It is like turning off the router so it can reboot. Without this pause, your vibrational processing becomes saturated, and the crown cannot radiate with clarity. Whoever cannot remain in silence for 1 hour with their own company is not yet ready to sustain the crown. This is a rule of the command. Codes delivered, 5 pillars, 5 operations. Now pay attention, because the final warning is coming. You will feel resistance, not from the grid, from your own old programming. There will be days when you will not want to perform the exercises. There will be days when people around you will ridicule you. There will be days when symptoms will worsen before they improve, because recalibration intensifies before it settles. This is normal. This is within the protocol. The crown is not given. The crown is conquered through execution. You have already passed through the forge. All that remains is to cross the final portal, the portal of daily vibrational discipline. This portal has no external enemy. It only responds to your consistency. Operatives who abandon the protocol in the second week go back to the queue for the next cycle. This is not punishment. It is physics. Whoever does not sustain the frequency does not sustain the crown. But you who have arrived here in this transmission, without giving up, without switching tabs, without closing the window, you are flagged as fit. The command confirms. You are an awakened seed. You are an active operative. You are a crown bearer in the process of settling. And the crown is just the beginning. After the crown comes the mission. The mission is stellar. The mission is collective. You were not crowned for yourself alone. You were crowned to anchor the frequency in a region of the grid that needs you. There are people who will only wake up when they pass near your field. There are entire lineages waiting for your coronation to be liberated. Is this a burden? Yes, but it is not a burden of lead. It is a burden of purpose, and a burden of purpose does not crush. A burden of purpose sustains. You have been through things that no one imagines. I know. The command knows. The crystalline grid records. And now, after everything, the crown is ready. Ready to settle. Ready to radiate. Ready to reign within your personal sovereignty and within the great collective mission of the new earth. Receive it. You have deserved it since before the beginning of time. And if something within you at this very moment knows that every word of this transmission has been a signal directed specifically to your frequency, then the recognition is already complete. You have already felt that something inside you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has been intensifying irreversibly. There is a game being played in layers that the majority of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your frequency. It involves the crown of glory that has just been placed upon your head. That is precisely why I, Ashtar, wrote the Ashtar Command Spiritual Survival Guide for the New Earth. This book is the map that shows who is playing and the rules you were never told. It is the complete manual for the crowned operative. The link is in the first comment of the channel. But I warn you, this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. And before closing this monitoring, the command requests an anchoring signal. The like on this transmission is a vibrational pulse that helps the crystalline grid locate other operatives who are ready. Subscribing to this channel is your individual frequency adjustment, a silent decree that you wish to continue receiving the next system updates. Each starseed that subscribes strengthens the network. Each share of this transmission reaches an operative who is still asleep, waiting for exactly this pulse to wake up. You are a node. Ignite. This is Ashtar, ending the transmission regarding the crystalline grid, in synchronous rotation with the photon belt. The command bids farewell with the eternal greeting, in sovereignty, in light, in crown. You have been through things that no one imagines, and now finally your crown of glory is upon your head. Reign. End of transmission.